been looking at some of the coverage of that Lucy Letby trial and what she's been up to. I'd heard about this a while since it's been going through the courts, and it's quite a local one, but there's not been that much reporting on it. It's like, to me, it's like outlets like The Guardian, which I keep a real eye on, they were hoping that she'd be found innocent. It's like they were rooting for her all the time through it. Because it's like they can't really think about it. And when the guilty verdicts came in, it's like you've got like Polly Toynbee writing in The Guardian saying, there's no way that we know about this. So sometimes it's just evil, and there's never a reason why, and we can never hope to understand this, so we shouldn't. It's like every time something really bad happens like that, there are those who can't process it, and they have to pretend like it's mystical. It really bugs me. It's like, who could do something like this? And I look at it and I'm like, what interest have you got in not addressing this? And I was like, well, maybe it's a little bit close to home for them. What do you mean, John? Well, maybe they're a bit sadistic as well. What? Yeah, why was she killing babies? Enjoyed it. And got a massive thrill about getting away. A massive thrill getting away with it. And then a bigger smirking thrill being absolutely brazen with her lies about it. And then all the denials as to where she's then caused, when she's been killing kids and lying and caused trouble for others who've tried to blow the whistle on her. Because butter wouldn't melt. So it's like, oh right, okay, you've got a super brazen, manipulative liar who's capable of murder because she enjoys it. It's like, what is she capable of doing to you? She would happily see you on the hook for her crimes. Would destroy your career. Trying to catch her right. I'm trying to catch her for it. To do the right thing. To do the right thing to go after her would cost you your career because of the way she'd deny and make counter accusations and the like. So it's like people have blown the whistle on her and been ignored, and it ruined their reputations. No, surely it can't be anything to do with her. She's such a good girl. Butter wouldn't melt. People can't believe that others think and act that way. And it's like sadism. It's like you can develop a taste for making others suffer and enjoying it. And the more helpless and pathetic the victim, the more fun it is. The more they enjoy it. And bullies will pick on the weakest, will find and single out the weakest, find the easiest opportunity. It makes them feel good about themselves. I get to be the punisher this time. Say this. We're giggling in glee. Do something that's like heinous that have you. Oh, you did what? And so there's a follow-up thing as to where you get the other knee-jerk reaction, which is people calling for the death penalty, right? And in the case of someone like her, I agree with the death penalty. I'm like, you shouldn't use it as an hard and fast thing, but in her case, yes, she should get the death penalty. Like, why? Because her mouth is a problem. Like she's up there. She's like a worse person than John McAfee. For lies and being potentially dangerous and manipulative. She's more dangerous than John McAfee, and it's like, that's a big thing to say, John. Someone capable of telling terrible lies who is capable of any sort of reckless action and then smart enough to come up with a rationalisation and a story and a trick. To where he comes out smelling like the victim runaway hero, and, you know, you get the gist. You probably know who I'm talking about. She's more dangerous than him with her mouth. Why is that, John? Because she's a lying and brazen and manipulative sadist. And even though she's been sent to prison, she's not dead. So as long as she's around, she's going to be causing trouble and she's going to be gaslighting. And it's like the health and safety of the prison staff should be taken into consideration when they take someone like that in. Why? Because she'll be endlessly playing the victim and crying for weeks and months looking to gain sympathy. And even if she doesn't get it, that process be absolutely exhausting for everybody who's charged with looking out for her. Because, trust me, from now on it's going to be boo-hoo-hoo. Boo-hoo-hoo. And someone's going to be charged with handling that. It's like she's a danger to the mental health of the people who are charged with looking after her. She's a danger to the mental health of the other prisoners in the prison. Why? Because she's a brazen, manipulative liar. Nothing she says can be taken as truth. But human beings are kind of geared to take people's word for it. It's like written things and recorded things are still pretty alien to us. We do tend to mouth off, don't we? All human beings. We tend to talk and we have to take each other's word for it. And then you've got people as to where every word they say has to be doubted, and then it's a matter of, so everything that comes out of her mouth is equivalent to gaslighting, or would have that effect. So when it comes to women like her, or men like that, and there'll always be, it's like she's along the lines of, mind-wise, along the lines of like a creepy paedophile, but a woman. It's like you're a step further down the line in your need for supremacy and domination. So you've started killing babies. So that's like when if a woman's gonna go completely spare, that's what she'll end up doing. If a man goes completely spare, he's gonna be using kids for sex. Better able to manipulate suggestible people, lying to kids, which to my mind is a high crime. Lying to children in order to have your way with them, to me that's a hanging offence. Weird that when you can look at the state of some people who get jobs these days as school teachers, isn't it? I think that terrible thing to think and speak of, isn't it? Yeah, it's like, if you have never been exposed to that kind of evil, it's hard to fathom. If you've not been tortured, if you've not been made sport of at one stage in your life, now when that's happened to you, you remember it. It feels a certain way. And you see there are those that enjoy it. And you kind of become part of it. There's like an exchange where you're having something taken from you that you find horrifying and they find gratifying. That's sadism. It's like a vampire's feeding on you by abusing you. And they get off on the power and they're causing you fear and discomfort. And then you'll get some fucking arsehole who'll say, oh, well, they were obviously mistreated themselves. It's like, well, what's that got to do with anything? It's a choice. You don't have to kill people, you know. You don't have to torture people. It's a choice. You know, you can be cruel and choose not to be. You can be evil, murderous and choose not to kill. And at the end of the day, the measure that will be taken, the judgment will be not whether you were cruel and evil and sadistic in your soul. It's like, did you harm people? Did you kill people? Did you act on it? It's like you'll find, check out, the great men in history. It's like many of them were murderers. Killers, like really, really top killers who we now admire. They were heroes who created the world. There are people we'd see as great in our history who fucking took to killing with great glee. And would still be considered great. Oh well, all those he killed, it was in war, If it wasn't him, it would have been. If he didn't kill them, they'd have killed him. And it's like, okay, well, fair enough. It's like, how does that tally nowadays with someone who's just a flat out murderer in breach of the law? And it doesn't, does it? Because it's all killing. It's all killing. It's all murdering. Some of the great killers in history are heroes. So you will be judged in the end of the day as to the choices you made, the things you did. You could be someone who's got murderous thoughts in your head all the time, and you don't kill no one. And you, in essence, win a war because of it. You restrained yourself. I think all of us have got it in us to be violent, destructive, murderers. And choosing not to be is why you're a civilized person. Being able to think twice and say, well, the cost of doing that is going to be high. Are you willing to pay it? Not this time. Okay, so we don't do the violent, stupid thing. That'd be the measure of a man, one who can handle himself. I say to people, I don't know, you can't handle yourself. And it's like, why? It's like, can't say no to yourself. Can't say, maybe it's not a good idea to headbutt this guy. He's got himself within range of me. Maybe it's not a good idea to do it, and don't do it. But no, you could have done. And in essence, give yourself a pat on the back for showing some restraint and paying a different price. There are those who can't. There are those who choose not to see that in themselves. And when you choose not to see that in yourself, you can't see it in others either, so you fall victim to sadists, evil people, because you don't see you've got it in yourself to do things like that. So and then you become blind to evil, and make it so that someone like that Letby, who's killed 7 and tried to kill another 10, because no one would believe it true, because they deny in themselves their own propensity for sadomasochism, violence. It's like, what hope have you ever got of addressing things like that if you don't believe that those things exist? And then every time it strikes, you have to pretend like it's some kind of mystical 1 in a million surprise, when it's no surprise. She will have manifested or run with the same pattern of behaviour for years until she got to killing. She'll be the same fake person who'd find her kicks in other ways before she, found the perfect pleasure of doing murder to an innocent, and it'd be the perfect crime, and it'd be something she'd enjoy. It's like, there are those who can't go there. Those who can, probably a large number of them are in jail. Large number of them in jail, and when she hits the woman's prison, there'll be women in that prison who'll be full of all nature of regrets as to how their lives have gone, and they will look at the baby killer and think, I've done some fucking bad things, but you. And then that same evil, sadistic streak they have in them, they feel justified then in unleashing it on her. Someone lower than me that I can go after. So putting her in the prison then triggers all the like-minded, vindictive women in the prison. And then gives the prison authorities a complicated basket case that they're going to have to take care of for the rest of her life. She might have 45, 50 years left in her. It's like, yeah, great bag of shit to hold. It's like, death penalty? Yeah. It's like, she's not going to stop being a pain in the ass long after she's had her opportunities to be a murderer taken away from her. Only person now that she's going to have the ability to harm is herself. And we'll see that. And then we'll see that used as a game by way of to try to secure a better treatment. She's still got her parents wrapped around her little finger. It's like, what a shit show. What a bag of shit to hold. Whereas from my perspective, I can think of 4 or 5 good reasons why she should die. She should get the death penalty. See, what a mess. But it's like, the thing that will always bug me the most is the way that those fucking people in the old media, the culture, who claim to be our betters, who claim to know better than we do, can't process sadism. Don't understand it. And have to mysticize it and pretend it's something that can't be really explained. Well, I just spent 17 and a half minutes explaining it. How's that even possible?